Welcome back, friends. Okay, we're going to do three things first. I was part of Third Phase of Moon's video that's released right now, so it's released at the same time. We're going to do that first, then I'm going to give you an extended sneak peek of Battle for Disclosure. Then stay to the end because I got some really crazy UFO video, including possibly a Tic Tac very low to the ground. So let's get started with this live premiere that they got going on with me in it. I figured instead of giving you a separate reaction, might as well give you what I said just moments ago.
Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. Blake Cousins, along with my brother Brett, and Dr. J is going to join us. What's going on over Mar-a-Lago, Texas, New Jersey, Washington, D.C.? Everybody is seeing something in the sky that is unexplained. We have the breaking news report for you tonight. Let's roll this.
Tonight in central New Jersey, a mystery in the sky. What the heck? The FBI is now investigating multiple sightings of swarms of drones hovering menacingly overhead.
Outside New York City, the drone mystery tonight in the skies over New Jersey, seen flying near President-elect Trump's Bedminster golf course and the military base, what authorities are now saying.
Now we turn to a mystery in the sky in New Jersey. The FBI says it's investigating a series of possible drone flights. People on the ground across central Jersey have reported them over the past several days.
Night after night for the last several weeks.
I can see 3 drones just in this view. There is another one over here and another one back here.
Now to the concern in the skies outside New York City tonight, the drone mystery over New Jersey, seen flying near President-elect Trump's Bedminster golf course and near a military base. The FAA now taking action.
The drones have been described as larger than what a hobbyist might fly.
They made kind of a low hum, similar to what you would expect from a plane, a smaller plane.
Some of the drones have been spotted close to a military installation and President-elect Trump's Bedminster Golf Club, where he frequently stays.
This is over my house right now. What is that?
That's the question on everyone's mind as this object, and at times apparent clusters of objects, hovered over northern New Jersey last night. Multiple sightings were captured on cell phone video in the evening and matched similar images seen over the last 2 weeks.
Right, the major news is breaking it down. Mar-a-Lago under alert, no-fly zones across major military bases, nuclear power plants. They're subject to the phenomenon right now, and we're breaking it down. And these reports coming in from the major media, they state that maybe there's nothing to it, or they don't know what it is, or don't be afraid. It's okay. But again, it's a lot of disinformation going out. Listen.
Tonight, the FAA says at the request of federal security partners, it is prohibiting drone flights over Picatinny Arsenal Military Base and Trump's golf course. From the Hindenburg to War of the Worlds, David, New Jersey has seen its share of aerial intrigue. Tonight, authorities say they understand the public's concern about the drones, but they say there's no immediate danger.
So if they don't know what they are, and they move faster than our jet pilots, and they can't chase them down, and they state that we shouldn't worry about it, is an understatement of ridiculousness. This is crazy what's going on across our nation, and the major media saying just be cool. But again, these reports, it's funny just to watch the major media and how they play out a day late behind Third Phase of Moon.
Clearly in a formation.
The FBI says they are possibly drones and is asking the public for information and videos of any such activity. Local police say there's no immediate danger to the public, but they don't have an explanation for the flying objects, including reports of fixed-wing aircraft or small planes.
So the FBI is stating that they don't know what they are, where they're coming in from, but we shouldn't worry about it. If you look at these photographs that have been coming in over the past couple of days to Third Phase Moon, these aren't your typical drones, in our opinion. We're looking at something that is incredibly high in meta propulsion, something that we're not aware of, the public anyway. What we're looking at here is interesting. And when the FBI is getting involved with regards to sightings and telling people to turn your footage in, you should do it, but you should share it with us right here at Third Phase of Moon too. Now listen.
you can actually hear them before you see them because you hear the buzzing.
Ryan Dawson witnessed the purported drones over his neighborhood.
It's suspicious to me. Obviously, it's creepy. Everybody in town thinks it's creepy.
Because it seems like there's always more than one.
More than one, multiple sightings across different states. And right now, the evidence is overwhelming that there's something going on. This isn't mundane stuff, but the question is, who's behind it? What's behind it? Is there something that is about to happen here very soon?
Yeah, Blake, it's major. It's over Mar-a-Lago, Donald Trump, nuclear bases, DC, and it seems to be lighting up. Just this week, everything's kind of coming to a head. What's going on around the world? Well, we're going to find out. More clips.
Along with the activity in the skies, Olivia DiMatteo says theories abound among local residents coming to her coffee shop.
The rumors have gone from Russian spies to people stalking Trump to aliens, so nobody really knows what's going on, but it's definitely concerning.
Definitely, there should be a concern, and we need answers. I think our government should start coming forward with legitimate evidence of the suppressed technology that's being, in our opinion, harnessed by some rogue corporation. I think these are ours, in our opinion, but it's using something that is beyond our comprehension here. We're looking at something, in our opinion, that is possibly ET in nature or some kind of high advanced military drone or rogue corporation. But right now, it's surrounding our nation and the world.
The Federal Aviation Administration has banned drones over the nearby Trump National Golf Club in Bedminster and a nearby military installation.
No one can figure out, like, why are they here?
For CBS Mornings, Tom Hansen, New York.
So Donald Trump, we've got drones over there. We've been speaking with insiders over there in Washington, D.C. It's very interesting on how everything is playing out right now. So let's get in Dr. J on his thoughts of the recent activity in the past couple weeks.
There's quite a few things going on globally the last couple weeks. Almost every major airport and Air Force base, you have things going on in Russia, in the United Kingdom, and of course here around the States. Now, some look like they're using technology that doesn't look like ours. You have triangular craft that look like mini TR-3Bs that people report a low hum, which you don't normally hear in a drone. However, others look like typical drones and they sound like drones. And my guess is some of these are probably China checking out our military installations before Trump gets in there and really cracks down on that kind of stuff. So I think what we're seeing globally is a little bit of both. We're seeing man-made drones doing typical surveillance. You're also probably seeing ARVs when you are seeing these crazy types of other UAP drones that don't look like stuff that we normally have that could fly.
And we got them flying over the golf course, Mar-a-Lago, right there over Trump, and they're worried about this.
Well, what's insane about that is they just announced a no-fly zone because of the FBI investigating these drones over sensitive military installations. So even after that, when they say there's a no-fly zone and they're saying no drones of any kind are going to go over, the Winter White House is what they're calling Mar-a-Lago now, and yet all of a sudden you have them breach airspace almost immediately. So that begs the questions: are those drones over Mar-a-Lago not the Chinese drones, because Trump would definitely take retribution if he found out they were? Are these more ARVs, alien reproduction vehicles, or are these more of the type of drones that maybe ET sent out to check out what we're doing?
When they state that we shouldn't worry about it and they got it under control, basically, what should we take on that statement?
You know what? It's everything. You never take anything at the government's word. I always take it with a grain of salt. When they say they know what these things are, I don't believe them. When the Senate committee heard the UAP task force and they heard the guy from Aero basically saying the Tic Tac was just a misidentified plane like an SR-71, the most bogus explanation he can ever say, considering you have the pilots that saw this stuff. So when they're saying not to worry, or they know what these things are, or anything,
well, they say they don't know what they are. They actually say they don't know what they are. That's
which is why the FBI is investigating. I think they either know what they are and they are afraid to admit it, but they're downplaying the threat either way. I just don't believe whatever they say they are. It's possible they don't know what they are, or it's possible they do know, but they're embarrassed. So either way, they're not telling the truth.
Yeah, either way, we just got to keep an open mind and look at the facts and the data. And we're receiving this video coming in from Popocatépetl. And we just received this video moments ago, and we wanted to share it with you. We're going over the breaking news, but everybody wants to see the latest UFO videos. And that's what we're doing right now. And we're looking at some kind of, it almost looks triangular, and it's hovering right to left, kind of upward into the skyline, and it looks big. And it was captured on I think the webcams to Mexico. And I love what's happening over Popocatépetl over the past month or two.
Yeah, Blake, this is some crazy footage. We're looking at this bright illuminated triangular light just kind of drifting up from the caldera of this active volcano. And we're also seeing these gaseous sprays of things that are coming out from the left and right of it, which is very interesting. Here's another clip coming in from the same region, same volcano, and the characteristics are matching. What's going on?
To me, this is really mind-blowing because you have two separate cameras watching the volcano, and you have a typical triangle or pyramid type craft, and it's glowing. And every time I see a glowing craft, it reminds me of Bob Lazar's documentary that he released in 1990, where he explained when you have a gaseous atmosphere like ours, which is mostly nitrogen and oxygen with a few other things in it, and you have a source of high voltage electricity, like something like a nuclear reactor, which is a lot of times what's in these craft, then it produces a glow along with a hum that you could hear. So I think that's what's driving the glow from this. But really fantastic catch, guys.
You know, it is incredibly fantastic what we're looking at here. It's unexplained and it's legit. We're getting a close-up still off the video itself, and the illumination, the plasmic charge coming off this triangular pyramid-shaped craft in close proximity to one of the world's most active volcanoes here. Is it possible that it really wants to harness the energy from the volcano? It's been speculated, but the activity around this certain volcano just seems off the hook, like it's continuing on a daily basis. And we're keeping a close eye on this. Now, again, a lot of videos are coming into third phase moon, and everybody should be having their eyes on the skies across the United States, across the world. Have your video cameras ready. And when you go out tonight, just keep looking up. Look out for the activity. It's happening on a daily basis, nightly, 24/7. So as I state that, let's get to this next video. And it appears to be, again, something major going on. And this video kind of shocked us when we looked at it for the first time. Here it is. So we got these large craft, like two of them, just hanging up side by side. We can see they're behind the electric lines right there, way up there on the mountainside, and they're moving. Quite interesting. I don't think these are planes coming in to land in any airport. We're not seeing any FAA lights. They're huge. These things, in my opinion, are at least maybe 300 to 500 feet in diameter, each of them.
Yeah, it almost looks like they're going to collide right at that moment, and then they kind of just drift from each other. As it seems like it's intelligent as they create this approach upon each other. This is weird stuff. Very strange. Could this be maybe a cable car gondola system? I'm not sure. This is really bizarre footage. I've never seen anything like this. I would like to see a daytime photo of where this is. I think this is in Colombia somewhere. So if we could get daytime action of this exact same spot, then we could prove what's going on here.
You know, you literally took the words out of my brain that I was going to say about the intelligence. The fact that these two craft veer course at the very last minute before colliding with what looks like it could be a plane clearly shows that there's an intelligent control involved. Possibly these things are piloted, if not they're AI drones. Now, at first I thought we were possibly looking at one craft, but then when they veered and one went below the other to pass the craft, the airplane, that's when I realized you're looking at more than one. Like you said, this is very, very weird and bizarre, and I too would love to see a daytime photo of where this took place.
Absolutely. And now we have an exclusive cut for you tonight. Our documentary, Battle for Disclosure, December 10th, 2024. It's going to drop worldwide. Japan, the UK, Russia, Germany, Canada, everywhere. And we want to give you the sneak peek with regards to the National Enquirer connection and UFOs and what Greer and the photo editor had to say. Listen.
We know that, for example, and I've had this shared with me by senior intelligence officials back in the 90s, that a lot of the best UFO cases would be channeled away from the mainstream media to, frankly, discredited tabloids like the National Enquirer.
My name is Bill Graham, and I worked almost 25 years at the National Enquirer.
Firing minds want to know. I want to know.
When I started out, was the only medium around that covered the subject of UFOs.
This is the stuff the tabloid dreams are made of.
In 1981, when I joined the Enquirer, we put a lot of money into covering UFOs. I knew there was like a dedicated crew that we had that's all they did. And many people aren't aware how much money the Enquirer actually spent on the subject. The Enquirer was a cash cow. The publisher learned how to really make a lot of money by being at every supermarket checkout counter in the country. So with all this cash flowing in, money was never any object. We'd send people to countries in South America, Asia. And so, you know, people were skeptical because it's the National Enquirer. Oh, this isn't true. This isn't true. And I went in very skeptical myself at first. And then my job as a photo editor, we'd have teams of people go in and interview people that saw something. And it wasn't just like lights in the sky. I would see stories where, you know, we'd have story files. The person would own a farm and a UFO would land at the farm. And it wouldn't just like be a light in the sky. It was something with form, structure. And there was frequently like a beam of light that would sort of paralyze them. And they would show, they would have, some of them had burns, radiation burns and things. So that changed my way of thinking on the subject of UFOs.
You don't know that at the very top, that whole project is being run illegally.
These are brand new witnesses, and they've got bombshell information to talk about.
These technologies are unsanctioned. They are illegal operations, and this can be proven in any court of law.
It's like, wow, nobody's coming after us. We're going to do this until we can get away with it.
They would have so much control over everything if they had that.
If this information was all released, it could fall into the wrong hands.
They're using security as a cover for illicit or illegal or even treasonous activities.
The members of Congress didn't have the detailed information of the precise location.
Where they keep the bodies, the craft, the debris, all the evidence that we've been searching for the last 80 years.
He knew how to keep a secret. Secrets were his stock and trade.
They're literally making their own money to fund their own projects.
We have a source currently in the deep black world.
It doesn't matter if you're president of the United States, you're not going to talk about that.
There was this large monolithic slab, looked like it was elevated off of the ground.
It is traumatic.
Look, this is the most top secret shit you've ever heard of.
Okay, that was the trailer, right? Now let me get to you guys the other part of the clip I want you to hear from a sneak peek. And by the way, like I said, stick around to the end because I got some more crazy UFO footage that is not part of this. So while I get this, if you'd like, I would appreciate it if you subscribe and hit the like button. Give me 1 second here while I share the screen to grab it for you. And here you go. Let me make it big for you. So this is more of the interview.
Pentagon, but by the Department of the Air Force from seeing information, talking to witnesses.
Yeah, with the whole kerfuffle about going to Eglin Air Force Base and not being given access to members of Congress.
And they basically told us, we're not going to give it to you. The arrogance of this general was beyond belief.
The problem with that, it wasn't planned properly with enough intelligence and information. Number one, the members of Congress didn't have the detailed information of the precise location of the important underground facility there that people on my team have been in. All right. So number one, they need more intelligence, and I've told them, you know, you need to ask us, and we can give you that granular, detailed information. Number two, you don't ask. You show up with law enforcement and say, we are going to, under the authority of the Constitution, see this. And you don't go in there and knock on the door and say, pretty please. And I have actually since then said this to members of Congress. Let me give you an analogy. Let's say there's, you know, the Gambino crime family back in the day, and they have a storefront selling pizza, all right? And in the back, you know, there's drug running and all kinds of money laundering or whatever going on. You don't go to that pizza parlor, knock on the front door and say, pretty please, can I see what's in the back and see your criminal operation? Right? Who does that? So they've had these advanced platforms that fly, anti-gravs, since the mid and late 50s, and they have been used in psychological warfare exercises trying to create this false alien threat narrative. And that means that they've collected an enormous portfolio of cases that they've created that look alien, that they can put in front of the National Security Council, the Congress, and whistleblowers like Mr. Grush, who haven't gone in deeply enough on this issue to know what is real and what has been faked. So I think this is where we have to be very, very careful.
My name's Sean Ryan. I'm a former Navy SEAL and former CIA contractor. I was SEAL for 6 years. Then I jumped over the agency, did 9 years over there, got over 20 combat deployments altogether. I mean, I think the benefit of protection to the whistleblowers is getting information out into the public that should have been out a long time ago. And now that the government is offering some sort of protection for the whistleblowers, I think it's going to give people the courage to come out and release some of this information that needs to be released. I do believe that there are certain programs that civilians should not have access or know about, depending on what we don't want our information, our classified information, to fall into the wrong hands. With that being said, yeah, it would be great if the public did have access to it. However, we do have to understand that there are people that, if this information was all released, it could fall into the wrong hands as well. Maybe it's already into the wrong hands, but that's not for me, to decide. Do I expect full disclosure? I don't expect full disclosure. I don't have that much confidence in our government.
You don't know that at the very top, that whole project is being run illegally.
Okay, that's just the trailer. So let me stop that. And let me, now that you've waited this far, I got this far, let's get to the rest of the UFO footage I have for you tonight. Now, I really hope you guys have made it this far, because I would hate to have to re-release this last portion of just footage, because this is some really good stuff. This first one is not bad, but the stuff right after this is what I'm dying for you to hear, or see, should I say. Now, the reason I always like these and the volcano ones, I always used to think that they're going into volcanoes to maybe grab some energy. But what if they're going in there because there's a base in there and they know nothing would ever survive going in there? And maybe that's the same case with the sun. Maybe they're just going through if not to recharge, maybe just because they can. And they're checking out what our star, the insides of our star, maybe to gauge how long its life is left. Now, look at this. I wanted you to see this before we get to what could possibly be a Tic Tac or just another really low flying cylinder. I don't think this is organic, but I mean, look, you're seeing multiple lights and it kind of looks in some way transparent. Now, I mean, is this some weather phenomenon? But if that's the case, why is it moving slowly to the right? Nowhere near the speed of these clouds or anything. This is what I wanted you to see. Now, obviously, it doesn't look like the Tic Tac as far as the color, all white, but I mean, kind of looks like an Apollo rocket just floating around really slowly. I really wanted you to see this. Now, in Russia, in the late 80s and the early 90s, I guess during the Soviet Union, some mountaineers made an expedition to a mountain whose name I can't pronounce, and I don't have in front of me, and found a crashed ship like this. There were no ET bodies, but they drew the symbols, and when they came down, I'm told some people about it a year later when they made an expedition again, it was gone. So the Soviet government obviously recovered that. Now, this is awesome because the last time I saw photographs of very clear TR3B was the very famous ones that came out of Belgium in the 80 night wave in Brussels. So, I mean, it looks like we're in another wave globally, or as you guys might have heard, the December 3rd invasion that possibly started. Now, I don't think that's the case. We've had an uptick of UFOs going on for this past year exceptionally, but literally the last 5 years. And I'll tell you why in a second. First, I want to comment on this. This is such a classical, typical flying saucer UFO. I mean, this is the stuff that you think of when you see a flying saucer. Yes, it's a little different than the sport model, but not every single one looks like the sport model. This is really great, by the way. Really fantastic footage. But yes, make sure you check out Battle for Disclosure. And that's about it for that one. And I really hope I don't have to release this one again. And like I said, that's it. I hope you like and subscribe. Make sure you keep your eyes in the sky. If you capture something amazing, contact me. And I got more alien footage I'll show you. I really hope you guys made it to the end, because if you did, then leave the word invasion. That way I know you did, so I don't have to showcase just that last couple of things again. But I want to know if you guys have ever seen any sorts of craft like that with your own eyes, not in video.